value chain for multifunctional refining of industrial hemp in Denmark has several phases and several associated businesses. The Mullerup Group took interest in hemp rather accidentally. Back in 2005, Bodil Pallesen from the Danish Technological Institute introduced the idea to Stig Gamborg at Mullerup. A visit to Canada inspired further development. The ideas have developed from there, with the use of different hemp varieties for seed or for fibres. In this short introduction to the case study and value chain, we start in the fields, follow the seed handling, and continue through to finished high-end food products. We also see how hemp fibres are turned into sustainable products, replacing fossil fuel-based materials. This is hemp seed harvested at one of the farms delivering seeds to Mullerup brands. A number of farms have contracts delivering seeds, depending on the actual market. This is Hans Fimbo, farm manager at Stenholt and Skaffugård Estates in the hemp field in late September 2021. Finola, a variety of hemp, was sown in this organic field in late May when the soil temperature reached 10 degrees. The field had been ploughed and fertilised with 100 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare as an embedded slurry. When growing, hemp has no insect pests, although there may be minor fungal attacks. Harvesting is done using, with only minor modifications, a traditional combine harvester. Hemp is a very good crop to have in our organic rotation. As a late sown crop, it gives us time to handle weeds mechanically early in spring. It is also good for undersowing with nitrogen-fixing crops such as yellow clover or yellow trefoil. After harvest, the stubble with the yellow clover and some waste seeds is very good forage for wildlife, including insects, birds and deer. Typically, we can harvest between 1 and 1.5 tons of seeds per hectare. Summing up, the hemp crop has several advantages, especially in an organic farm management system. Hemp is sown in late May and harvested in late September, so we have machinery available out of season, so to speak. Hemp does not need herbicides or pesticides, and it only needs a small amount of fertilizer, making it very suitable for organic agriculture. Hemp is also a very good crop in our organic rotation system and very suitable for undersown seed crops for the following year, such as clover. So, all in all, hemp is a fantastic crop for an organic farm management system. In these buildings, we see the second step in the seed value chain, seed handling. Peter Tunder, Head of Logistics, welcomes us to Mullerup Brands. We receive the seeds from the farmers with 9% humidity. The large bags are lifted onto the line. Here we have the seed cleaning line, This cleans and separates the hemp seed into two sizes. The first sifting also sorts out small seeds. These small seeds are bagged and sent to an oil mill. The large seeds continue along the cleaning line. The next phase is a seed gravity separator, which removes foreign seeds and straw. Next, we have a de-stoner, which removes small stones, weeds, seeds, etc. After this, the whole cleaned seeds can be packed into large bags or moved on to the next phase, where we de-hull the seeds, toast them, or make hemp flour. Here, in our production facility, we can make different ingredients and products from the cleaned large seeds. First, we de-hull the seeds in a centrifuge, and we have a capacity of 200 kilograms an hour here, simply by cracking the seed hulls mechanically. Then the hulls are removed by suction in two stages. The hulls make up to 55% of the total weight. Next to this, we have a seed roaster. The 15% of small seeds are sold to an oil mill, where the oil is extracted, and then the pressed cake is returned to us. The hemp flour is sold to organic plant protein. The hulls are sold to make fibre-rich whole flour, or they go for pet food. Here, for instance, we have the cleaned hemp seeds from Skafugard from last year, labelled with batch numbers, weight, marked red, meaning organic quality, so there is full traceability back to the individual batch and farm, and thus we provide food safety. We will now go on to some examples of the use of the hemp protein flour in the next processing facility at Organic Plant Protein. The CEO of Organic Plant Protein arrives at the processing facility near Heavenstead, where hemp protein flour is processed into meat replacement products. Ulrik Kern Hensen, founder of Organic Plant Protein, explains. Here, in Organic Plant Protein, we process and extrude proteins, typically from peas and broad beans. The fine flour of these two species is mixed, and from this we can texturize it through an extruder into a very meat-like product. The process starts with grinding flour of peas and beans, which contains 55% protein. We are developing a new product to optimize the nutritional value of the meat replacement products. We are improving the product now by adding hemp protein flour. Here we have hemp flour from Mullerup Estate. The hemp protein has another colour and has a quite different composition of amino acids compared to peas and broad beans. When we mix the protein flours from hemp, peas and beans in the right proportions, we can optimize the amino acid composition and thus the human nutritional value. The further processing of the protein flour is via an extruder. The extruder transforms the protein flour, creating a fibrous texture very similar to that of meat, but based 100% on plant proteins. The extrusion process is simple, straightforward, and a well-known process. First, the flour is mixed with water, producing a thick dough. The dough is moved forward by screws and kneaded mechanically in the extruder. The dough is then treated under pressure and heated to 140 degrees centigrade. This denaturates the protein structures and the dough becomes liquid. The dough can be made in a wide variety of shapes and sizes in response to customers' demands and the product specification. These can vary from large chunks to small nanostrip pieces resembling minced meat. The final products are formed by specific nozzles into the final desired structure and shape.
Her kan jeg så vise jer nogle forskellige eksempler på anvendelsesmuligheder. Hvis vi starter i midten med de store, dem vi kalder chunks.
Here we have three types of final product.
Så kan I her se nogle
Firstly, the large chunks, turned into a curry,
færdige stykker, som
inspired by churrasco from Latin America.
erstatter krydrede stykker af kød. Det er egentlig med afsæt i en sydamerikansk ret, der hedder churrasco, hvor man grillsteger grillet kød. Her er et andet produkt,
Secondly, the mince structure used to make a vegetarian bolognese sauce, replacing completely the minced meat. The nanostrips enable us to create a burger. They entwine when hydrated and, mixed with the mince structure, create a burger with a very beef-like texture. The final taste is down to the creativity of the chef and the addition of different herbs and spices. The climate footprint of this burger is 12 times lower than one made from beef. And it looks like and tastes like a burger. The nutritional value is almost identical to meat. The hemp amino acids give a near optimal meat substitute product. In this plant, Convert develops hemp fibres from the fields of Mullerup Estate into sustainable products and material. This is Flemming Hinkelmeyer, CEO at Convert, one of the joint venture companies of Mullerup Estate. Hemp is a multifunctional plant with several value streams. The hemp plant consists of stem, leaves and seeds. Hemp seeds are used for high-value human proteins and oils. Hemp leaves can be used for medicinal cannabis oils. The dried hemp straw or stem that we work with here consists of skews, the cortex, and fibres. The stems here have been retted, left in the field for 2 weeks after harvest, during which enzymes from microorganisms degrade the pectins holding together the stem. The stems are then dried, baled and transported to the first process. The stems are decorticated, squeezed, to separate the stems into chives and fibre bundles. The chives can be used for construction materials, the so-called hempcrete, to replace concrete. The fibre bundles are further treated after decortication in a hammer mill to make many short fibres or granulates for our production line. Fibres could also be treated for use in other processes such as clothing. So, in summary, harvest, retting, drying, baling, decortication and finally fibres treated by hammer mill into granulates. At Convert, we have basically 4 steps for treatment of recycled or bio-based materials such as hemp. We receive the fibers already decorticated. Firstly, we shred the fiber bales of hemp using a hammer mill into a granulate. Secondly, the granulate is mixed with a thermoplastic fiber, the biodegradable PLA, polylactic acid. Thirdly, we caft the fibers in an air-laid process into a non-woven mat. And finally, the mat can be compressed into finished or semi-finished products such as insulation board, furniture pieces, etc. This is Jörn Ballermann, CEO of Advanced Nonwoven, another spin-off venture company based on the technology, who form non-woven products. This machine uses a patented technology based on air laying. The technology now is at an industrial scale. It has been developed for hemp with a former caft moulding unit, where we can mix fibers up to 60 centimeters, typically soft fibers. This mat consists of hemp fibers and a binder. The technology is also suitable for recycling a large number of materials such as textiles, cellulose, wood and other bio-based fibers. The patented idea was further developed by Mullerup Estate, who developed a great interest in the air-laying, non-woven technology for hemp fibers. The vision was to produce bio-based insulation materials.
Deeply into growing hemp, and the vision was to produce insulation materials on this technology based on hemp. So Stig Gamborg from Mullerup developed a prototype machine.
The prototype was developed 8 years ago by Stig Gamborg, and this CAF 2400 unit here is the latest industrial version of the technology. It is able to produce cost-effective, cost-competitive hemp mats of the highest quality.
Effectively insulation materials based on hemp.
Finally, we meet with Bodil Engberg Pallesen, Senior Specialist at the Danish Technological Institute, here at a hemp testing line. Here we have organically grown hemp granulates to be formed into mats. The fibres from the stem can be extracted in a purely mechanical process. The hemp fibres have been shredded and the granulate is processed in the test production line behind, using air-laid technology, and formed into mats of various dimensions, densities and qualities depending on the use, for insulation or for use in furniture. Today's trial is an organic hemp to demonstrate how to make fibre mats for composites to be formed into furniture. The present project is carried out by Convert and the Danish Technological Institute in cooperation with their partners and building upon more than 20 years of Bodil's previous work with hemp and other biofibres in Denmark. This industrial scale plant converts hemp fibres into sustainable products, using the major part of the industrial hemp biomass. This is about the complete utilisation of an agricultural crop, adding more value chains and sustainable businesses.